Hello. I'm a bit fed up with what the snail is doing at the moment. So, if you followed the channel for a while, you know I'm always looking for alternatives in the sim universe. I never play just one game, but keep my eyes open as well as my mind for the more obvious and hidden gems of virtual flying. So do we really want $70 copy and paste premiums? Do we really feed Gaijin that much money for what seems to be just a minor addition to the game? Do we really want event vehicles that are broken beyond belief and that you have to sacrifice quality time with your loved ones for? If the answer is no, and if you feel like giving something else a shot, try DCS. I've got the new Black Shark 3 module and dove into the adventure that is Tempest's Cold War server. It's the first flyout, so mistakes were made, but I can state I haven't had that much fun in a sim in a long time. Keep in mind, normally I don't narrate pre-recorded gameplay, but since I didn't even know what to expect on the server, this is what we've got this time. So, after setting everything up, the controls and the A-brace, the screens and everything, I took off, and flying this thing is a challenge, because you have to fiddle around with the trimmers and autopilots, and there are 4 different autopilots, or actually there are 5, but it's manageable once you know what you're doing. So that is one successful takeoff. I have a buddy with me here, who's much more advanced regarding KA-15 knowledge, and he ends up doing most of the work actually, as a short spoiler, so to say. It's a beautiful winter landscape, and we are right now in the enemy AO. And so here you can see me targeting a thing, but it won't launch. So you will have to be really close to your target, or not actually super close, but sometimes the Squall sensor has difficulty locking me. And here you can see that I get an attack warning from the left. I don't think much of it at the moment, because I can't see anything. And you can't see missile trails or something. So I just fiddle around with my stuff and go on my business. But right now I get another attack warning, and that is coming from, I think it was the right side. And I zoom in and I spot a little something coming towards my way. And that looks really suspicious, and you will see very shortly what that actually is. Now there's a missile trail and an explosion, and this turns out to be an enemy F-15 who have found us and is not so happy that we are destroying the ground targets. So I try to dodge him, and he's coming in really close here, and I go up, he shoots a missile at me and misses. Thank God. At this point I realize I don't have the automatic protection system set up, so this miss was really a lucky thing. So I dive on the deck here to make it harder for him to spot me, which is, you know, really hard. And again, he turned around and shoots me with his guns, and luckily misses. So right now I really identify him as an F-15. Again, I try to stay close to the ground, and shortly after this I get another attack warning from the front this time. I see a little dot in the front right there, but I think at this point he just gave up. And he couldn't shoot down any of us, so I assume he was out of missiles and his guns attacks were not so successful. Also, I don't have air-to-air missiles with me, which is another nice addition in the KA-50 version 3, so you can attack enemy planes as well. Next scene, you will see flares right there coming up from something, and we are deep in the enemy AO, so I of course logically assume that this is an enemy. And I fly towards this, and I think it's maybe an enemy signal guy who is alerting other enemy units to our presence. And so I think, okay, let's switch to guns and attack the guy. And I smack him in the head with a 30 mil. The problem is that the guy turns out to be red side, so our side. And I asked the guy, the other KA-50 who was with me, what's going on here, and he said, this is a friendly pilot who wanted to be rescued. So, and I could have gotten mission points for that. I did not know that at all. So, yeah, as I said, mistakes were made. Sorry, Mr. Pilot. So, yeah, I type in the chat here, how do we know that this is friendly? I guess this is just a matter of experience. So, if somebody's flaring in the enemy AO, that might be a friendly pilot, so pay attention to that. It's not cool to shoot friendlies in the head with 30 mils. Sorry. So here, I'm trying one of my few successful ground attacks in the first flight. Again, I have problems locking this. Sometimes you don't know if a unit is already dead, and then you might have some problems with it. So this guy turns out to be alive, and I fire my laser at him, and shortly after a Vickers missile. And it's in range this time, so I always observe what's going on, so you can see the missile going out there, and this time it's a hit. And you always get a hit message in the left chat window there, so then you know something went the correct way. Here you can see me targeting these bunkers with cannons. I don't know what these are, so again it's in the enemy AO, and everything that looks like a target, like a structure or whatever, I always want to attack this, but I don't have the experience yet, and this stuff turns out to be non-destructible. I don't know what this is. I fired a whole bunch of Vickers missiles at these things. I thought they maybe need more than one hit, but yeah. There's another unit firing right now at me, so, and you could observe that the self-protection system did not give me a warning this time. This because this only reacts to IR missiles and radar missiles. So I guess when somebody is shooting at you manually, you need to take care of this yourself. And turned around here to attack the guy who fired at me a couple seconds earlier from a safe distance this time, so he can't attack me. Laser is fired. Squall is on target, and poof! It's super satisfying to do this from a distance, because yeah, it's just cool to snipe, right? I always like the sniper gameplay. Again, here goes a rocket out on these bunkers or whatever that is, but yeah. So basically, I wasted a lot of missiles on these bunkers, and yeah, but now I know better for the next flight, and this will be my last attack actually. So 2 ground units destroyed plus a friendly pilot. So I returned home, which was a long flight of about 10 minutes or something, because we were 80 kilometers away. And here I wanted to show you the landing, because I'm kind of proud of that. This is again the first flight, and landing this thing is not easy because it's super heavy. I don't know how much it weighs, but it's a couple tons, and I have never flown helicopters before, so yeah, the navigation system helped me a lot. So the right screen right there, you can always see on the map where you are, and there's always a flight path, and so you know where you have flown in the past and where your home base is, so you don't need to look at the F10 map. I decided to go for a side aspect landing, so to say, so then I can look out the window and then I know that there's a safe ground below me, so I don't need to do this like in a plane where you land from the back to the forth basically. So this is much more safe in a helicopter, I figured, and it looks quite good. Again, a couple words about this. Really, when you spend so much money, when you have $70 or euro to spend, give this money to a company who actually cares about customers and the experience and the historical correctness of vehicles and the systems and everything. So it's really nice to have a company where you can see that they care about the software and modules that they produce. So give DCS a shot. It's really nice and it's worth it. There's a whole universe to discover, and I'm just in the beginning, so it's cool, and maybe I can see one of you next time on the battlefield of DCS. Thank you for watching. This is the very first DCS video for a long time, or since a long time, but you can expect more because I have a ton of modules which were in the hangar basically, and I plan on spending much more time with these in the future. So thanks for watching again, and until the next one. Bye bye.